Wendy, stories are a big part of what I do. You have some stories to tell about training. Help me to understand what stories might be important for our listeners.
This is one of my favorite ones. Several years ago, maybe 5 years ago at this point, we had a client who had gotten themselves into trouble with the DOT. They were having leaks in transportation frequently. The DOT issued a few fines, didn't really get their attention. So they finally went in there with a team of about 5 inspectors and said, if we find one more violation from you, we're going to assign you the maximum penalty, which at that time was $75,000 per day per violation. So they called us in to help them, and DOC said, okay, if you're going to work with STARS, we'll give you some time. And they did. So the very first day we went in there to do some training for them, we started by inspecting some of their rail cars that they had already finished for the day. We found 3 loose closures on the first car we touched. At $75,000 per fine, or per violation per day, that one rail car could have cost them $225,000 for one rail car. And they had 10 or 12 in the yard. So a few weeks goes by, we rewrite procedures, we teach them how to do it, teach them how to inspect the rail cars, how to find, how to determine when a car can't be loaded and when it should be loaded, if something's wrong with it. A few weeks later, once the program was completed, DOT came back and gave them an inspection, found 0 violations. And to this day, 5 years later, they still have 0 violations.